We drove in from Boston today.
I recently had the opportunity to sit down and speak with one of the most well-known and highly regarded studio drummers in the music industry, the one and only Steve Gadd. Steve has been playing rock, pop, and jazz for over 4 decades. In the 70s and 80s, even into the 90s, he played drums on hundreds of hit songs for various artists. I caught up with Steve right after his gig with James Taylor in Bangor. Playing with James is going to be a pretty cool gig.
That's fantastic. I love he's a great guy. Everybody in the band are fantastic players. The crew's great, and we've all been doing it for a while, so it's like family.
I asked him how he got into the business, and he said he, along with his good friend and bassist Tony Levin, graduated college in 1969. They then had to decide what next to do with their lives. That was also around the time when the Vietnam War was looming, and Gadd was concerned he might be drafted. So the two friends split up for a while.
So I auditioned the last year of college for service bands in the Washington area, and I got accepted to the Army Field Band. So I went in there for 3 years. Tony went to New York, and then when I got out of the service, I eventually ended up living with Tony and his wife, and he introduced me to people that he had met while I was in the Army, and that's how I sort of got in the door.
Gadd's discography list is impressive to say the least, and his name goes hand in hand with some pretty big hit songs. Paul Simon's 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, Steely Dan's Asia, Ricky Lee Jones' Chucky's in Love, just to name a few. So I asked him about hit songs that maybe people didn't know he played on.
I mean, and I had fun doing that. I played on The Hustle with Van McCoy. That was actually pretty much the band's stuff, was the rhythm section on a lot of Van McCoy things. So that was all fun.
I couldn't pass up the opportunity to ask him about the Steely Dan Asia recording session.
They had been working on Asia, the same band, with different drummers. And I don't know why, but they had something in mind that they wanted that they weren't getting. And so when I went in, the music was all there, the band was all rehearsed, and it just sort of happened in a couple of takes. So that was that. But then I've worked with them other times when it wasn't done live. It was just me in the studio and just trying to overdub a sound that they wanted, and they were very particular in what they wanted.
I asked Steve if he was doing any recording sessions in and around the James Taylor tour.
This thing is going to be going on for a while, so the time off, I really try not to schedule too much stuff. I try to, be home with the family.
Bob Evans for Bob's blog.